Hey guys, I'm Nick, and on this episode of the Scran Line, I'm super excited to bring you my next cake flavor, which I have been working on for the last 5 days. I know it's a ridiculous amount of time to be working on a cake, but I wanted to take my time with this one because I wanted to make it look perfect, and I think I did a pretty good job. You guys be the judge. So this is a cookies and cream Oreo cake. It's a double stack cake, so it's 2 tiers. I'm going to take you through how to make it completely from scratch. This is how you make my double stack cookies and cream cake. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with the cake. So pop all of your dry ingredients into a large mixing bowl. So your flour, sugar, baking powder and salt. Mix that until it's well combined. Then you want to add your softened butter and mix that until it reaches a crumbly sand-like texture. Next, you want to add your milk, Greek yogurt, oil, eggs, vanilla extract, and mix that until it's well combined. Scrape down the bowl, add some chopped Oreos, so I've just quartered these, and then gently fold that in. We're going to spray 2 8-inch cake tins, so spray them with oil, and then you're going to line them with baking paper at the bottom. You're going to put a third of the batter into one 8-inch tin, the second third of the batter into a second 8-inch tin, and then you're going to put the rest of the batter into a small 6-inch tin. You want to bake those for about 40 to 50 minutes on 160 degrees Celsius, and then set them aside to cool and chill completely. Now, I'd actually recommend putting these in the fridge. Next, we're going to move on to making our ganache. So pop your chocolate and cream into a large microwave safe bowl. Microwave that for 20 seconds at a time, mixing each time until it's nice and smooth. You want to set that aside to set at room temperature. I'm going to pop some Oreos into a food processor. We're going to crush them up really finely so you can leave them with the cream in the middle as well. Otherwise, if you don't have one of these, you can pop them into a Ziploc bag and just crush them using a rolling pin. You're going to add that to my Swiss meringue buttercream frosting. You're going to need 2 batches of that recipe. Our 8-inch cakes have cooled completely. I'm using a cake leveler to trim off the top and then cut these in half. So all up, we're going to have 4 layers of our 8-inch cake, and then we're going to have 4 layers of our 6-inch cake. I'm going to add a dab of chocolate ganache on top of an 8-inch cake board. We're going to spread that slightly using a small offset spatula. Add your first cake layer, press it down firmly on top of the ganache just so you make sure it sticks properly. You're going to pipe a nice generous layer of that chocolate ganache on top of that, smooth it out a little bit with the offset spatula, and then sprinkle some chopped Oreos on top. I'm going to add some more little dabs of chocolate ganache on top of that, just to make sure that the next layer of cake sticks. You're going to repeat that with all the layers until you get to the 4th cake layer. Now you want to scrape away that excess ganache. It doesn't have to be perfect, it can be rough. Now we're going to put our crumb coat on, and what this does, it helps trap the crumbs so that when you put your final layer of frosting on, there's no random bits of cake crumbs on the frosting. So pipe some of that frosting on there. We're going to use the small offset spatula to just roughly spread it on top. Scrape away any excess because it doesn't need to be a thick layer of frosting. Once you've got it nice and roughly level, pop it in the fridge for about 2 hours to chill completely. We're going to repeat that with the 6-inch cake as well. Now we're going to add our final layer of our frosting using a piping bag on the sides and on the top. Now I'm actually going to start off by leveling off the top because it makes it much easier this way, and then you want to move on to leveling off the sides. Now you can see that there's some bubbles of that frosting in the middle there. Just fill it up with some more frosting and keep going around until it's nice and smooth. Again, you want to chill that for 2 hours and repeat with the 6-inch cake as well. Now I'm using some very thick straws that I just got from a local craft store. Now the reason why we're putting these in is so that when we put our 6-inch cake on top and this thing actually defrosts, because at the moment it's chilled, the cake is not going to completely collapse. They kind of act like support beams. Add a little dab of vanilla frosting on top of that, and it's going to help stick our 6-inch cake on top of it. I'm just going to place a little bit of baking paper on top just to make sure that my hand doesn't warm up that frosting and ruin it. And the point of this is just to very firmly press down that top cake onto the bottom cake to make sure it's properly stuck on. Now guys, this is my favorite part, the decorating part. So I've got some more of those chopped Oreos. We're going to start off with the larger chunks at the bottom and then move into using the smaller chunks about halfway up the cake. So it's kind of going to give us a bit of a gradient effect. You want to repeat that on the 8-inch cake as well. I fitted the end of my piping bag with a Wilton 6B piping tip, and I'm going to frost some double donut swirls on top of that 6-inch cake. We're going to drizzle some chocolate sauce on those, and you can let it drizzle off the sides as well. And finish it off by sticking some Oreos on top. And guys, that is pretty much it. Okay guys, so that was my double stack cookies and cream cake. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, first of all, welcome if this is your first time here. Make sure you subscribe so you can watch the rest of my videos, which you can pretty much do anyway without subscribing, but if you do subscribe, you get updated. Now, if you press the little bell button next to the subscribe button, YouTube will actually send you a notification each time I upload a new video, so that way you don't miss out. Now guys, with this particular cake, you can make it a one tier, just like a single layer cake, like all of my other cakes. So I'll leave instructions on how to do that in the written recipe. Speaking of written recipes, you can grab that on my website, scranline.com. The link for that is in the box below. I've also left a full list of the ingredients for this cake down there as well. Thanks so much for watching guys, and for all the lovely comments you leave every video. I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Scran Line.